guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ayman. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. Now today, this video is not going to be fun at all because I'm going to be telling you the story of how I got hardcore scammed in the last like month or two, literally. And it gets pretty fucked. I lost $1,000 in the process. I filed a police report and everything like that. So there's a lot going on. Either way, if you want to know the tea, then keep watching. So if you watched my New Year's video, then you may remember that I mentioned that I was getting a dog when I came back to Toronto. And that was fully the plan. I mean, I love animals. Like, I know I have a cat and I am primarily a cat person, but I've always wanted a dog as well. Like, I just love animals in general. But obviously, as you guys know, I'm very allergic to fur and stuff like that. So obviously, I was on the hunt for a hypoallergenic breed of dog and I settled on a toy poodle. I was going between like Bichon Frise, a Havanese, Shih Tzu, because Shih Tzus are so cute. I really wanted a Pomeranian or a Shiba, but poodles are very cute. They're extremely hypoallergenic. They're very smart as well. So I was sold and they were so cute. And if you guys don't know about poodles, there's like the standard size, which is like the biggest one. Then there's a miniature poodle, which is the medium-sized one. And then there's a toy poodle, which is the smallest one. Toy doesn't mean like a teacup puppy, because those are like abnormally small and they're actually not meant to be bred that small. It actually makes their health a lot worse. So either way, I wanted to get a toy poodle because I live in an apartment first of all, so I can't have a massive dog running around, and I obviously have a cat. I want them to get along, and I researched that the toy poodle would grow, like its full size would be about the size of my cat when she's fully grown as well. So I was like, okay, they're not gonna be fighting over like who's alpha of the house. So I was like, yes, Nini's gonna have a friend. Honestly, I was so thrilled. Either way, then became my search process. So obviously the first thing I did was go on Kijiji, because that's actually where I got Nini as well. And I went on Kijiji and basically was just going through toy poodle ads after toy poodle ads. And dude, they literally charge you a fucking arm and a leg for a toy poodle because they're a high demand breed and they're hypoallergenic and they're smart, all these things. Literally, they were selling them for like $5,000 for a puppy. And I was like, what the hell? Like, the market price for a poodle is meant to be like 1.5K-ish, right? So I was like, I'm getting highly scammed. So either way, I was like, fuck Kijiji. I still messaged a bunch of people on there hoping to see if anything could come of that. But then I went to Google and I just searched for breeders in Ontario and I found one located in Fort Frances, which is about, I think, a 15-hour drive, but shipping and everything was included. So I was like, okay, this looks like it could be good. Keep in mind, I got to that website by going on a massive Canadian breeder website, which seemed pretty legit. And this website was listed as one of the breeders on Ontario. So I was like, okay, it seems pretty legit. It's on like a Canada-wide national website. So I was like, okay, I'm trusting it. Either way, I went to their website, which I am gonna call out because fuck them. It was called www.toypackpoodle.wixsite, right? And obviously I'm going through the entire website to make sure it looks legit and whatnot, and it pretty much seems like it is legit. You know, like I was going on the about, that seemed to check out, all the testimonials seemed real, but I guess looking back, they obviously weren't. And on available puppies, all the puppies were so cute. There was about 9 or 12 puppies for adoption, all toy poodles of different colors. And so since I was in Pakistan at the time, I told Maheen, my sister, to get in touch with a breeder because my phone just wasn't working internationally. So that's when that sort of whole contact began, right? And the breeder seemed fine to begin with, honestly. Like, he sent us all the information, you know, what he would need, my delivery address, you know, how I plan to pay, and, you know, delivery costs, what the dog came with, how much she was trained and whatnot. So I was like, okay, this guy's sending all this information over, like, okay, clearly he knows what he's talking about. So either way, I was deciding between 2 dogs on the website who are still on the website. I can see them right now. One was called Kim, the other was called Christy. They're both like, you know, like the brown chocolate color of poodle. I think the color is called a red poodle, but Christy was more blonde and Kim was more like brown. Either way, I was deciding between both of them for quite a while, and I was like, I can't just go off the one picture I have of both of them on the website. So I asked the breeder, I was like, oh, could you send more pictures and like videos of the dogs? And so it took him a while, it took him a few days, but he ended up sending a few more pictures of Kim and Christy. But even from those pictures and videos, I was like, oh, I still can't decide. Like, I need to see more. I can't just decide based off like 2 seconds seconds off the video. So my sister asked him again, oh, can you send some more footage? And the guy blatantly said no. And this I found a bit odd to begin with, because I was like, if I'm trying to sell a dog or a poodle, I would give the customer as much footage as they wanted, right? Whatever it is, at the end of the day, it is a business and you want to make that sale, right? So I was a bit thrown off with the fact that he didn't want to send me any more footage of the dogs, but then I thought, okay, there are a lot of puppy scams going on. Maybe the breeder thinks if I have so much footage of the dog, I'll try and sell it myself. So I was like, okay, sort of a red flag, but I get it, I understand. Either way, a few days later, he did end up sending another video, and I decided to go with Christy. She just seemed cute, and she was very playful, and there was just something just very cute about her. She just looked, like in this picture, you can see like she looks like an eager beaver. Like she looks so eager to please, and I was like, you were so cute. So either way, I went with Christy, and the total cost of the dog, he was first saying, was $1,850, right? And on the website, it said all the puppies were, it was $1,600 for a female, I believe, and I think $1,400 for a male, or it could have been $1,600 for all the puppies. We didn't understand why he was charging us more, so my sister was like, hello, like it said $1,600 on the website, and then he was like, oh, okay, fine, I'll charge you $1,600, and we were like, okay, like, why would you try to scam us to begin with? Either way, then he asked when we wanted the dog, and since my plan back then was to come back to Toronto at like the end of Jan / start of Feb, I was like, how about the 9th of Feb? That way I can get the other room sorted, I can remove the bed, that can become sort of like the dog's area, since, you know, socializing a cat and dog takes time. Like Ninny has to feel like she has her own space in the house, and so does the dog. So I was like, that'll give me a few days to set up the room, and then the dog can come, and I'll live happily ever after. So that happened, and to reserve a puppy, which was the same as to reserve Ninny, you have to put a deposit down for the pet. So the deposit was $1,000. It was $1,000, and he wanted the deposit, A, to obviously reserve the pet, and B, to sign the ownership from him to me. And I was like, okay, that seems very legitimate. And also my sister even told him, you know, like not we have been scammed, but there is a lot of puppy scams, you know, I'm a bit uneasy. And so he even sent us his driver's license. So I was like, dude, this is clearly not a scam, because he's sending us his driver's license, so I can get him if I want to get him. I can just show his driver's license to the police. So I was like, he's not gonna put himself in that sort of trouble. Either way, we sent the $1,000 deposit, and that was that. And we didn't hear from him for a few days, because hello, the deposit is done, I can just send the next bit of the deposit like weeks from now. So as the day of me coming back was approaching, I asked my sister to FaceTime the breeder, because I was like, you need to make sure he is real, right? And the puppy is real. But he just refused to go on FaceTime. He said he didn't have iMessage, and he didn't have, you know, WhatsApp or anything like that. So he didn't really want to be on a call or be on a video call, right? And we found that strange, because why would he not? It doesn't really make any sense. And so with that, either way, a few more days passed. It was getting closer to when I was coming back, or when I thought I was gonna come back, and the guy asked for the second half of the deposit. And my sister even said, oh, is this 100% what you want? And I was like, yes, 100%. I had been watching like 30 dog training videos a day at that point, so I was like, I'm ready, I want this, I want a dog, let's do this. Even though everyone and their mom was like, don't get a dog, don't get a dog right now, focus on yourself, focus on Ninny, you already have one pet, how can you handle two, blah 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 blah. And honestly, in hindsight, I should have listened to them, but I'm just so fucking stubborn, so I was like, fuck you all, I want a dog, I'm getting a dog. I know, just don't even at me. Anyway, so my sister tried to send him the deposit, and it wouldn't go through. So with e-transfer, how it works here in Canada, you can just send it to the person's email address that's connected to their bank account, and that's how they get the transfer. And so he gave her another email address to send it to, which was fine, but that one didn't work either. And then throughout that day, he just kept giving my sister more email addresses to use. And keep in mind, all these email addresses did not have his name in them. So we were like, whose email addresses are these? Either way, those didn't work. So he was like, oh, could you pay me through Bitcoin payment? And which is really fucking weird. No one asks for Bitcoin payment these days. Like, it's just very odd. And my sister, even though she knows about Bitcoin, she was like, oh, like, I don't really know how that works. And he was like, oh, what about PayPal? And PayPal's pretty trustworthy. Everyone uses PayPal. So she was like, yeah, I can do PayPal. So she was about to send the next 600, but he kept emphasizing, please send it through family and friends and not a business transaction. With a business transaction, at least you have security with the money that you're sending. With friends and family, you don't, because that's like a trusted receiver, and you don't really, you know, have that much security with that. Either way, my sister thought it was fucking weird, and so did I, so she didn't send him the money. And I was like, okay, we need to get to the bottom of this. So she drafted a message basically saying, you know, hey, we've kept up our end of the deal. You know, we did not go back on our word, and we sent you the 1,000 deposit. We're just feeling a bit uneasy with all these email addresses that you've sent us and the whole Bitcoin thing, and like, we're just not really feeling comfortable with the transaction. And we were being very, you know, straightforward. And she was like, oh, you know, like, I think we would feel better if we paid the remaining deposit after we actually got the dog. And so he either way replied and was like, oh no, like, you need to stick to your word, and like, you have to pay the full amount before we can, you know, deliver the dog to you. And then my sister was like, okay. He didn't even address what I said about the multiple email addresses, but okay. After that, and after a lot of thought, I thought maybe getting a dog just wasn't in my fate this year. So I told Maheen to get a refund, because the guy blatantly stated, I've never heard about this before, but there was like, not refund and exchange, but a 30-day money back guarantee. So if the pet isn't happy at your house, or like you're not getting along with it, or it's not getting along with your other pets, then you can return the pet and you'll get your money back. Even though, looking back at it now, that seems pretty sus, but I was like, oh, that's a very good policy. So either way, my sister asked for our money back, and the guy blatantly said no. He was like, oh no, like, Christy is already at the delivery facility and she's just waiting there ready to be delivered, and we just need the final bit of the deposit. And at this point, my sister was like, this is bullshit, because we hadn't even given him my address. And we even said that how could he send the dog to the delivery facility with no address? So my sister asked him, she was like, you don't even have an address? And he was like, yeah, but we have a name. We have your sister's name, Ayman Hasan. You can't get my address from just my name. Like, the guy was blatantly lying at this point. And my sister was like, oh, like, can you just keep your word and give us a refund? You said you would give us a refund. And he was like, oh no, but like, now you're gonna have to pay like $2,500 for a pet abandonment and like the whole delivery fee and everything like that. But my sister was like, it's not at the delivery fee. Like, if you can show us proof that the dog is at the delivery facility, then fine. We will, you know, give you the rest of the payment and the dog can get delivered safe and sound, and that'll be the end of that. But he couldn't even provide proof of the dog being there or what delivery facility it was, so clearly it was fake. So a few days later, my sister asked again, like, hey, will you be refunding us? And he just wasn't responding. So my sister was like, I will give him one more day. If he doesn't respond or decide to refund us, I'm gonna take this to the police. And so my sister even told them, she was like, oh, like, you know, if I don't get the money back from you, I will be taking this case to the police. And let me just actually read what he said from here on out. This is one of the messages my sister sent him. You'd already mentioned delivery would be processed once full payment is done. Please understand that we truly wanted the puppy, but sometimes deals just don't go through, and it's not a big deal. You have to keep your word and honor whatever it is that's on your website and in your messages. Please see the screenshot of where you specify the 30-day money back guarantee. Now, guarantee not being scammed right now. Then he didn't respond, and she said, Harry, please just let's make this easy for everyone. You can't hold on to someone's deposit like that. And then the next day she messaged him, if I don't hear back by tomorrow, I'll be forced to report this fraud to Ontario police. And he replied saying, you did not keep to your words of paying the balance amount. And I was like, what? You're an idiot. So this is the final message my sister basically sent to him. She basically said, you know, you don't know the struggles sometimes people go through to actually pay a deposit of $1,000, and it's really sad that you're not paying the money back. I would appreciate you return my money ASAP. Since you have a business, I'm sure someone else will buy the dog. We all work really hard for our money, and I'm okay with you keeping a $200 fee since we changed our mind, but kindly send the remaining back. Then no response to that. So he said, I reported this to the police, shared your ID, website, all screenshots of our correspondence. You'll be hearing from them now. And all he said was okay. And then he replied the next day saying that's good. And then we responded, we were like, why are you scamming people? You don't know how hard they work for their money. And this was the biggest tea of all. Get this. He literally accepts that he's a scammer. He replies saying, if you know your history, you will know why. And my sister was like, what do you mean? He said, before talking about scams, remember your history rates you as the #1 and biggest scammers in the existence of mankind. Your forefathers and government asked them all what they have stolen from less developed nations in Africa. If they could return half of it, just ask and tell me. So clearly this guy is not only a scammer, but he's an angry racist. Literally, I'm brown, I'm Pakistani, we never just stole shit from less developed countries or Africa. I believe he's talking about the British and like Europe. not me. But it was just very annoying. Like, I just don't understand how someone can do that. So now, like, we're down $1,000. We don't have a dog. And this guy was just like, oh, well, sucks to be you. Your fucking forefathers stole from my land, blah, blah. Like, I mean, you guys know me. I'm like the biggest social justice warrior out there. But like, this is fucked. This is literally fucked. And the guy is of African American descent. The guy is obviously black, but he sent us a fake ID or driver's license of some, you know, white man called Harry, which was clearly not him. And it was just, the whole thing is just fucked. Honestly, it's fucked, and we can't really report it to the police because it's not a scam of over, I think, $2,000 or $3,000. If it's a scam of $1,000 or like that amount or below, you have to do an online police report and everything like that. And so we've done that, but we still haven't heard anything back. And obviously I know there are so many more serious cases the police deal with than like puppy scam, but still, like, that's so fucked. And the number of puppy scams during COVID have just skyrocketed so hard because obviously people are looking for companionship. People are looking to make money and be evil, so those just go hand in hand for puppies. So that is that, you guys. I'm not getting a dog. My sister is about to talk to the police on the phone, so if that happens before this video goes up, then I'll try and include it here somewhere. But that's basically that. Harry fucked us the hell over. We got scammed $1,000. My heart is broken because obviously I got so attached to this little dog called Christy, and I was like thinking about like what her name was gonna be and everything like that, and like how she was gonna get along with Ninny, and like now I'm like, is she even real? Does Christy even exist? Like, I hope wherever she is, like, at least she has a good home or like she's safe, you know what I mean? Like, I was just highly pissed off, and then I felt bad because I was like, well, how did I not see this sooner? Like, I'm a smart girl, I should not have gone fucking scammed. But it happens to the best of us, you guys. So yes, I got puppy scammed and it sucks. Let me know what you thought of my bad luck in the comments below. Have you been scammed by a puppy scammer? Let me know so we can just hunt them down together. And yes, I did include his real website because I don't give a shit what happens to this guy. His website should be taken down and he should be going to jail for financial fraud. Either way, you guys, that is it from me. This has been Storytime motherfucking Sunday, bros. So my boyfriend's been making me watch Blue Mountain State and I've become a frat boy. I'm not happy about it. Okay, bye guys.